everybody. I know I'm celebrating. Back at the trailer park.
You want a camera? We got a camera. I can put an extra
There's
camera.
nothing wrong with trailer parks.
You want a camera? Tim, you want a camera?
Trailer park jokes now are offensive, huh?
I don't know. Have you seen is there trailer parks anymore? They took them all away, I thought.
There absolutely are trailer parks.
I haven't left town for a while. I went to Newburgh. It looked pretty nice there.
Newburgh looked nice?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, look like some nice homes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, dude, I actually met Sean White at that skate park when he was a tiny, tiny kid.
Was it when he also was at the skate barn off front? Remember he came to York Hill?
Yes, that's right, York Hill. I forgot about that. No, my buddies and me went to that park in Newburgh, and he lived in a house. His mom lived in the house right by the park. So she was like, "You guys got to come back, and because we can skate at night. We got lights at our house." And like, I don't think we actually did that. That's the park that has the spinning thing. Right? Fuck yeah, that was a long ass time ago. The dude was a tiny kid. I mean, he must have been like, it's Newburgh, man.
Yeah, Newburgh, bro.
I don't think he lived there. I think his mom did. It was right by the park. That was where we met the kid. I mean, it was a long time ago. And I wasn't even on like any of the high-powered stuff at that time, so my memory's pretty keen.
Well, yeah, and I know he trained at Mount Hood as a snowboarder as a kid, too. So
Right.
like everyone else, so maybe
That's pretty common.
And I used to buy like pizza off him. So he had like a custom pizza oven in his snowboard jacket. It was crazy. It was wood fired too, which was nuts. It's made it easy, really easy to fucking spot him.
Cutting edge.
It was, you know, it was ahead of it. He was ahead of his time. He was ahead of his time. and you know, I got a good idea from him, so I decided to put a wood stove in my CRX.
Sure.
It didn't work out quite the same way.
Sure. I can see that. I can see it not working out.
Yeah.
I like CRXs though.
So I took it.
Those are fun.
I took out the wood fire stove and I put in a deep fryer.
In the CRX?
Right.
That's dank. What year CRX was it? Like a red 92?
they only had like a few years. They had two body styles of the CRX.
Right, they had that kind of square one.
What was it? That would have been like 80.
88. Oh, okay, I remember that style. Sure, that's kind of...
When that second style came out, it was probably like 90 or 80. No, it was still the 80s.
I think
89.
it was a 90.
Maybe 91.
I think it was 91. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that Civic was great.
Yeah, I had a CRX. I had a blue CRX for quite a while, and it actually was a sick car.
Yeah, they fucking drive great.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Who has a CRX? Go ahead and leave it in the chat if you have a CRX.
Oh, every time I see one, it brings a fucking tear to my eye. I love those things, and man, if I knew, you know what I mean. I didn't know jack shit about cars back then.
Right.
I like now after I dumped it because I bought a new Honda. I'm like, God, I got rid of that CRX that was giving me so many problems, right? And then some wisdom comes by, 10 years later. I'm like, oh, motherfucker, I just had to bleed that thing. That was it. Because that's what it was. I didn't fucking, dude, I had so many problems with that thing. Memories. I loved that thing. My neighbor gave it to me.
Sure.
Fucking gave it to me. Dude's like, you want this car? I'm like, what's wrong with it? He said, it has a flat tire.
Yeah, that's the old days, man.
I was like, that's it? He's like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the old days, man.
So I stole a tire off someone else's car, put it on there, and I was good to go.
Fucking resourceful.
Oh, it's broken, dude.
No, you just gotta hit it again.
Wait,
hit
look.
it again. Try to...
No, look, dude, it's actually got, it vibrates.
Aw, fucker broke.
How, do you know that this is how they made kazoos before they were good? When I was on tour in my kazoo band, you wouldn't see anybody with one of these. Oh, that's what it is? Because these are made out of metal because they're multi-purpose.
Man, the kazoo shit didn't
Use
go
your
off.
imagination.
Okay, do it.
Wizard
it again.
cabbage.
Do it again. Do it again.
I'm not going to take a shack blast today, man. All right. So Addressing the 4,000 viewers' concerns.
Go by the first one that we got tweeted about last tweet.
Yeah, the first guy right there.
Oh yeah, I don't think so, but we can try it. We'll try it, or just we'll try. See what happens. Take a picture of it, and you should take a picture. Take a picture of it. Take a picture of it. Send it to him.
Yeah, I thought of something funny this weekend. I was thinking about the butthead culture that we got going on in this country right now, where everybody's a butthead to everybody all the time. Just total friggin' butthead.
Yeah, right. I get it. Totally butthead.
So I've been thinking about it because I'm like, okay, so I told you this the other day, maybe I didn't, but check me out. I'm in the kitchen, okay, and I can hear the TV in the other room. I'm doing dishes or something,
right?
And I can hear the sound. I don't know what they're saying. I don't know what they look like. I can't make out any words.
Right.
But I can hear the cadence. And I look to my wife and I'm like, that's a conservative, isn't it? And because there's like some political news shit on or something.
Sure.
She looks over, she's like, yeah, it's like a Republican governor, fucking Dickensaw or wherever.
Sure.
She's like, how? How could you have known that? By not hearing the words. There was no words. There was no language. You couldn't even see their face.
Right.
All I could hear was, I'm like, that's a fucking conservative.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what's distinct about it is it's this insincere outrage.
Right.
It's this tone, this like aggro tone, but it's really disingenuous.
Right.
So anyway, that's all. And then I thought about a good description is it's this sound of someone trying to rationalize their own outrage.
I've heard that one.
So and the other thing is, it's not even fucking compelling.
No.
Didn't you motherfuckers watch Columbo? No. You know what I mean? Remember like fucking NCISI-5 or whatever? Like Law and Order, you go into court and the lawyer just bombs out with this case. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Nowadays, a lawyer comes out and he's like, Q, blah, 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 Hunter Biden's laptop, lock him up.
Yeah. It's fascinatingly amazing.
It's not even compelling.
Actually boring.
It's not even compelling. Compel me.
I've been so bored for years. Like, at least if they're going to make up a conspiracy, it could definitely be like either like one plausible.
Yeah, something
like, I mean, it's like an anti-gravity conspiracy. You're like, yeah, but shit keeps falling on the ground.
It's something that's convincing. It really grabs you. Right?
Yeah, I mean, even if it's, I mean, like, even, it's like really sad because most of the things people get hung up on are really actually stupid.
Yeah.
If you like think about anything, it's like
super dumb, trivial
like,
shit.
Or like any of the religions, they're just so stupid.
Yeah.
Like in their own way, the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And then people want to buy it. And you're like, come on, man. Like there's levels of accountability to like reality. Like they just
I think people need to move on and kind of get over it too.
Yeah.
I feel that way about myself with it. Everybody feels that way about shit in their life. That everybody needs to fucking get over shit and move on sometimes in their life.
Absolutely.
But like when it comes to like let's just say like it's a big one. Hopefully I don't get banned just for saying vaccination. But like if I say exactly.
It's off.
So if I say that though, it's like this. This is how I look at it. We don't need to waste a second of our life arguing about this between myself and someone who chooses to and someone who chooses not to. Right? Because check it out. Because either you're right or you're wrong.
Right.
So who cares?
And nobody really knows what really the result of anything. I mean, there's no way to even really know what's going on. So
it's like either I'm right or I'm wrong.
Well, and being mad about it, like when you'll never know what the answer is. See, that's why I like sports. Because even if the refs cheated or a guy broke his leg or whatever, like I don't care what the depths of the reasons are. Everyone agrees that someone won and someone lost, and nobody really, like, no reasonable person carries it on any farther than that for any reason. And so it's something you can be like, that fake outrage that we were just talking about. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't come from sports, but you see it in sports a lot because people are like, "How did he do that? He should jump off a bridge. Fucking guy missed that jump shot." And like everybody knows that guy doesn't want him to jump off a bridge. It's like it doesn't, but it's totally fake. when it goes into the real world and real policies and real shit, people are used to hearing that.
And that's what I was going to say. Sports really likes to hype up super trivial shit because all a sports game is who won or lost.
Well,
right?
like in golf, for instance, like the little fucking bitch match between the two guys, DeChambeau, and like the memes and like, shit's funny, dude.
Sure.
I'm sure they probably don't like each other, but like they probably like the fact that there's memes about them. Because it makes more people want to watch them, and then more people buy their shit.
Yeah, and like you said, like being all pumped up and outraged about just some super trivial like high school drama shit or something like that.
It's really fun in sports, but like it's really stupid in real life.
No, what I love about sports, and I always told you about this like arbitrary metrics, and because that's all they got to talk about. So it's like. Russell Wilson's played here 6 times in his career, and he's worn those shoes 3 times. But last year, it was raining, so he threw 4 balls for this and blah, blah, blah. So when you think he's wearing those shoes tonight, you think he's going to throw 6 touchdowns, Bob?
Well, I do. I mean, that is what matters the most.
What the fuck are you talking about?
To be honest with you, Frank, the length of the grass this year is just about a 1/4 inch longer than usual. And that's going to put those longer cleats on them boys. And that's going to happen. Some of the guys aren't going to know that when they come into the field.
This is familiar territory.
And later on in the season, I think
I love it.
Later on in the season, I think that when the baseball team comes in, they start playing on this field, they're going to tear it up there and in the middle. What do you think about that?
I think Russell Wilson could have been a baseball player. Actually, I think he was a baseball player.
Well, I think there's a lot of those guys.
And I think he wore the same cleats both times at tryouts, and that's why he killed it.
Oh, you think those baseball cleats are working good for the quarterbacks, eh?
You could just be a guy who just talks exclusively about how shoes impact the game, and you're fucking bankrolled by fucking Nike and Adidas and shit.
We'll call it not shoeless Joe Jackson.
So I wanted to say this though about that thing I was just saying earlier about like a vaccinated person and a non-vaccinated person arguing about it,
right?
And just saying, look, either I'm right or I'm wrong. We just got to move on. But the other part I wanted to say about it is. I think this is how I feel about it. I wanted to see how you feel about it too. Mm-hmm. About how somebody who's next to me who chooses not to vaccinate.
Right.
And how I feel about it is absolutely fine.
I don't feel anything.
As long as I'm not trying to negotiate with somebody who is denying medical science.
Well, I mean, like,
does that check out?
Well, like, as far as like, I don't want to like have a debate about it, or I don't want to be around him. Like,
somebody who says I choose not to do this because I don't believe in any of this shit.
Sure.
Because I don't believe in medical science, or I don't believe in this, or I don't believe in that, or I don't. I disagree with so and so and what they said.
Right. I think the most, and I because I don't agree with this logic, but I'm going to say that it's a decent ground to stand on for people who don't want to get the vaccine, and that is that because it hasn't been around very long, that it may have problems. Now, every day that goes by, that argument disappears more and more, and I think that argument's been gone for a long time. Like, it's been proven pretty well to handle it pretty well, and like I said, I think New York City had 0 COVID deaths yesterday.
Oh, whoa. So see, there you go. And there's a conversation there to have. I think, and that's great. That was actually pretty great and insightful stuff. I think what I meant by it was, I'll just get down to it, just like do a hypothetical. And it would be like, look, I choose not to vaccinate. I'm pretending to be someone else.
Right.
So I'm the guy who chooses not to vaccinate. And I say, I choose not to. I don't want to. But I'm going to do my part, like whatever I have to do. Right. If somebody's like, wear a mask, I'll put on a mask. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna argue and debate with you about, I'm not gonna say your, collective 400 years of research and it's great, but you overlooked this YouTube video.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just don't want to talk like that. I don't want to have that conversation. Right. So that's between that and the other person who's the other person who's like, no, fuck you, fuck everything. I don't believe anything, and fucking cue fucking
but I don't
flat Earth, fucking Bigfoot aliens are coming to scratch your butt or whatever.
I mean, I enjoy that type of talk. Like, I think it's funny or fun or interestingly funny in a weird way, but like when it starts to infringe on like reality,
right? It
starts to get kind of like, I don't know.
It kind of goes back to what I was just saying about the conservative cadence, where it's like this disingenuous outrage, where it's just like,
it's the baby with the bathwater,
dude. Seriously,
you know what I mean? It's like, and to be honest with you, it's bullshit. Really, this is why I don't worry about it. Here's why: because nobody's actually doing it. So again, like in my job Like I'm kind of like always looking for the behavior, not the intention or the hypothetical, like what people say they're going to do.
Not the motive.
Or not even like the gateway to the motive. Like, you know, it's like you see this avenue where you're like, okay, this guy's going to get pissed at this guy, and this guy's he's going to have a gun, and then this guy's going to get mad, and that's going to escalate. You know, and then the assumption is that the next level is he's going to shoot him. But to be honest with you, all the increments leading up to it are a lot shorter than the actual trigger pull. That's a pretty big leap.
It is.
Because in reality, there are a lot of guns around. In reality, a lot of them don't get fired off for argumental reasons. A lot of arguments happen where the gun doesn't go off. Way more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, when you're looking at a situation like that, I think, you know, when you're talking about like, you know, just generally like the way people, the way people freak out about something, no matter what it is and what they're actually doing is so far away from each other that people are actually living a little more safe. They're a little more resourceful. They're a little less wasteful.
So
Per person, a little less litter per person, a little less violence, a little more dads involved in the homes than there used to be.
Let me talk.
Little more good of everything, kind of, right?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like again, there's news cycles and there's all these things that we know just really work on like people being freaked out and like they've been playing it since 9/11 when something really did happen. You know what I mean? Like. Like something, you know what I mean? Like something really happened, which like the news was almost silent. If you noticed during that time, they didn't have anything to say.
What do you mean?
Well, when the buildings were going down, the people in the newsrooms, they were like this.
Well, yeah, everybody was.
No, I know. What I'm saying is
That's a fucking
when
vivid
there's
memory.
that's almost like when you see something that really happens, that's the reaction. So when there's something fake happening, but there's someone standing there like, oh, hey, this is Frank. I'm on the freeze. Blah, 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 blah. Look at this. This car's on fire. Oh, my God. You almost know, like, wait a minute. You know nothing's really happening, or else you'd be acting like this.
Right. And what's that? What's that? I don't know, too, like, I don't know, like that, a desire to be angry.
Well, I mean, that's
like
that is the hot feeling right now.
To go
that's
in, yeah, to like go into it looking for that. Like there's just, I mean, everybody knows it. Everybody feels it. There's just this overall general hostility in certain places.
Well, they need to listen to our band.
Absolutely.
You know?
I am such a bubble guy. And I mean, I get out of my bubble a lot, obviously because of my job and shit like that. But dude, around here, like, yeah, I'm pretty fortunate during this, and you are too. We live in a pretty great fucking community, and like
for the most part,
yeah, just there's nice people, but man,
a lot of tourists.
When you slip out of this town, so like today, today, I went to North Bonneville.
Mm-hmm.
So you know I play golf there.
Oh yeah.
So I play Beacon Rock actual golf, and I play North Bonneville's disc golf course too.
Okay.
So all of North Bonneville is maskless.
Okay.
In the clubhouse, in the stores, everywhere.
Sure.
All their signs are down, and they can do it legally now.
Right.
So, how do I feel about it? How do you think I feel about it?
I mean, you just stay away from people.
No, I went in without a fucking mask on. It felt great.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, you know, you go in, you do your thing. Like, I'm not worried about like what other people do. That's my point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just go in and do my shit and go about my way.
Yeah, exactly. And I walked into the gas station and I had to ask. I was like, "Are masks required?"
Right.
And she said no. And I said, "Cool." And I went in without one.
Yeah, me too.
So I did it because
I've been doing it lately.
Okay. Where? Here.
Rosars. Yeah.
Rosars doesn't require masks?
No. Neither does Windmaster.
Oh. Well, fuck yeah. See, because you and me are both vaccinated.
Yeah,
we're
it just
both
says
fucking
on the
fully
door,
vaccinated.
if you're
Yeah.
vaccinated, come on in. I'm like, I'm vaccinated.
Bam.
I'm not worried about it.
Totally. But see, I mean, for me, shit. Yeah,
that's as good as it gets. I mean, what else is going to happen? I mean,
totally.
I might. If I'm
you're so
sick,
fucking right.
If the vaccine's not going to work, then eventually, it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, you're totally right. You're totally fucking.
What am I going to do about it?
Yeah,
I'd rather get a cold in the summertime. What time of the year am I? Like, I don't. You know, there.
No. You're totally right.
At some point, we have to give up a little bit of this. We're not gonna. You're not getting out of this alive. You know what I mean? Like, not from COVID, but something.
Yeah.
And we're all going down, man.
Yeah.
And like this whole like it's good to be smart and it's good to be safe, but it's really not good to worry. And it's not good to put
Totally.
like unrealistic, like not driven any longer by statistical like truths. You know what I mean? Like not
Right.
just driven by just nonsense and overdoing it.
Dude, do you remember the book Behold a Pale Horse?
I don't think so.
So this is like the first conspiracy book I ever got in my life. And lots of people back then, you know, when there's no internet. So
Sure.
books were everybody knew
You
what,
read them. You read them.
everybody knew what Behold a Pale Horse was. And the guy who
Sure.
wrote it, like, you know, claimed he was CIA and all this shit, all these credentials in his book. There's like a picture of him like missing an arm and a leg because there's been like attempts on his life and shit like that. So now I'm saying this years later. I don't really I haven't looked back to see like how much credibility there really is to it or isn't.
Yeah, but it's a good
But
story though, right?
Very, very good book.
Right.
And there is some shit in that book that blew my mind as a 14, 15-year-old.
Sure.
That still to this day, I've looked back or I think back to that book like, motherfucker. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So the part of the book that anyone who's read it, probably not very many out of the 45,000 people who are listening to this stream,
Sure.
is the book was part of it was about gatherings. So this kind of book was inspired by the Summer of Love in the 60s and how people were united. We were friendly to each other.
Right.
A lot of the people who came out of that era who went into it as dicks, like even my parents who were raised by like hardcore right wingers,
Right.
took acid
Sure.
and loved their fucking neighbors. And it started this movement where 1 million people gathered on the White House lawn,
Right.
where Woodstock happened.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It was this unity, and that shit is toxic to capitalism.
Oh, it's toxic to almost any kind of functioning scam. That
Any
could
scam
possibly
anywhere.
exist.
Yeah. So the book, Behold a Pale Horse, a huge part about it is a long-term effort by the United States government to snuff out that flame, to turn
Sure.
Americans against each other, to prevent people from gathering in the streets, and to find new ways to slip in. This was the conspiracy in the book, is
Right.
that every year a new law would slip in where your rights to gather would slowly diminish.
Of course.
But you wouldn't know it because by the time you got there, it'd be a couple generations away from you. You don't even remember having the right to assemble.
Absolutely.
So anyway, yeah. Where are we?
Really close.
Really close. That guy's book was pretty fucking dead on. I kind of want to go back and take another fucking look
Yeah, I
at
was thinking
it.
about getting the audiobook.
So anyway,
Maybe we should look him up. Maybe he wants to be on the stream.
dude, I owned it. I owned Behold a Pale Horse. I owned that book and the Anarchist Cookbook, and I carried those around in my backpack.
Nice.
Remember that book?
Oh, the Anarchist Cookbook?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Smoking banana peels, baby.
My buddy had that book on his living room table,
That's awesome.
and I used to just check it out and go, "Dang, dude! Like, man, you guys are hardcore."
Hardcore, dude. Yeah. I used to like build some of the explosives that were in there in the woods in my backyard.
Oh, great!
Do you remember my brother? Yeah. See, this is
great.
this is the fun stuff kids did when I was a kid.
Oh, we
in the
used to catch
80s and
the bomb.
90s.
We used to throw. We had a
We'd build
buddy.
a stick of dynamite
Yeah, I had a buddy that had his dad. His dad used to make ammo.
for fun.
I had my buddy up the street. His dad used to make ammo,
Oh fuck yeah!
and he had this huge tin, like giant tin full of gunpowder, and we used to take like bags, like plastic bags, and fill them up full of gunpowder.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
And and take a pipe and just unscrew one end, make like a blowtorch, and just fill it up with gunpowder. A
Weird.
little bit of gasoline, light the end of it, and just just hold it.
Flamethrowers.
Shoot.
Flamethrowers
Shoot.
have gunpowder mixed in them.
No, I don't think so. But it just burns and it shoots
It's like
flames
napalm
out of
or
a.
something. Yeah, Jesus, man, that
I don't
sounds
know.
brutal.
But it was just awesome, right? So we had this small pond in the backyard, and we used to fill it up about half full of gasoline, and then shoot this flamethrower into it, and it was a good time.
Do you know
So-
what's weird? All you Hood River motherfuckers have stories like that.
Yeah,
You know, Hood River guys like, yeah, when I was a kid,
That
we
was
used to
Parkdale.
just shoot propane tanks up in Parkdale. Yeah, and
Oh,
Odell, like
yeah,
the
yeah.
crazy motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, the people that we grew up around, like I go to play basketball on Sunday nights at Parkdale Elementary, and there was always like a fist fight.
My brother would build bombs, right? And one time he just built this huge bomb. Puts a fucking cigarette on it, on the fuse. Okay. He puts it in the woods. Out so my back deck of my condo that I live at with my mom, like just straight goes into forest.
Right.
It's not like that anymore. It's all developed. So
Right.
my brother and me, we take it we used to just build bombs and put them out in these forests. And my brother like puts this huge one out there and he's like, no, dude, he's like, we got to put this one really far away from the house. We sat on the deck and waited for it. It shook the entire building. Oh my God. Cops, fire trucks. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything. I swear to God, I heard a chopper. It was fucking kabuki. You know what I mean? I looked at my bro like, what the fuck did you do? Like, what did you build? But yeah, I think he just built a little gunpowder thing.
No, we didn't know what we were doing. We just put gunpowder in a pipe and shoot it out the thing. I mean, it's like 13 years.
See, you know what? You know what?
We weren't even paying attention.
Totally. This kind of goes with what we were saying. That people are butt heads now. They're all butt heads to each other. Everybody's all violent and angry.
They just don't even understand where people are coming from.
I grew up. I used to shoot my .22 rifle in my backyard downtown Lake Oswego at 2nd and B. If you're listening to this, look up where that is. That's downtown Lake Oswego, and I would shoot a .22 in my backyard, and I turned out just fine. And everybody's safe because my mom was a cop. My dad was in fucking Nam. Like, I understood gun safety, bomb safety. Yeah. My brother and me weren't looking to hurt anybody with this stuff. It's kind of like the movie Friday. Like, if I'm gonna get in an altercation, we'll go fist to fist.
Well, the thing is,
the old-fashioned way, and I'll get beat up like I always do. But nobody's blowing up people.
The thing is, I never even we weren't even mad. We weren't mad at anyone. It didn't have a goddamn
That's exactly
thing to do
right.
with anything.
Exactly right.
I don't know what that is. No, there's no correlation between someone fucking with a weapon, gun, bomb, gunpowder, none of that shit. When you're a kid, you're just fucking around.
Yes.
Now, let we look at it a different way and say, is it safe? No. Of course
no.
Nobody's
should
saying
not have been
safe.
fucking with that shit.
No.
And I shouldn't have been.
Who did that? Putting gunpowder in a fucking pipe. It's stupider than shit.
Remember the vinegar baking soda 2 liter?
Oh yeah, this shit's dangerous. Should have fucking blow like fucking little cap flying. People used to throw full. You ever been to a party where someone throws a full beer in the fire?
Ooh, no.
And
is
it
that
just
cool?
like, blows up beer all over. You happen to hit just whoever. You never know.
Is that more Hood River shit?
I don't know where that's from, but it's happened.
Remember something a little more harmless. Remember non-dairy creamer?
No, like
you could pour it if you poured non-dairy creamer like night. Like, so we'd steal it. Like, I'd go to Round Table Pizza and I'd like lean back and like steal like 2 things of their creamer.
Okay.
And then when we have a campfire that night, you just pour it out. Basically, if you pour the whole thing out, it just makes a huge fireball.
Oh, I see. That's cool. So it's highly flammable.
Yes, non-dairy creamer is highly flammable.
Interesting.
Especially when there's got to have space in between.
You should know that when like if the world's ending,
well,
and we're looking for like, things to burn or start fires with, we can look for non-dairy creamer.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. We're throwing that out there to our fans.
I think at this point, there's going to be plenty of like oil out there to start fires with.
Let's just say there's being hogged up.
No, I mean even used oil will start a fire, won't it?
True. But not if it's all burnt up.
Will it?
How long will it take before there's no machines to get anymore that's close to the surface and people are out of oil?
Well, all the oil that's on Earth is still on Earth.
No, I know, but they still got to dig it up. And if there's no power.
That's not true. Some of it's burned away.
People got to be peaceful. People don't really understand one part of the economy, which is peacefulness.
Seriously,
you can't have like the thing that went to the thing that went to you can't have like power if you don't have like a dam, or like if people don't uphold the power lines, and like you can't have shitters if someone doesn't like maintain the city sewer, and like at least it's got to go into the river. And then people won't get in the river, and like there's a lot of things. There's a lot of moving parts. Like civility is important. People need to be nice to each other.
Super important,
because or else like it's not going to be fun. Like I've lived in a couple places. Like when I say like longer than a month in one and over 6 months in another, and like it's not very nice to live in places that don't have like normal stuff. Like I'm talking like potholes that will eat your car alive. Like you're just driving down the road and like, damn, dude, there's no system set up for it. People don't pay their taxes. There's no jobs. And
so that culture, like that's kind of creepy. Just kind of talking about it. It's just hitting me now. Like it started, the 40s culture, World War II. So country united. Right?
Yeah, right.
And that united country, that united feel, kind of almost like a world feel too, right?
Right.
That World War II's over. And then the fucking Summer of Love and LSD.
Right.
And then fucking rock and roll. And then what those people spat out were dudes like us in our 40s.
Right.
Now. And when you think back to where that started, how the fuck could you possibly get back to that?
Oh, I don't know.
With
we
this
made like
climate?
a hard turn.
Like with what? Yeah, a hard turn. Like with what happened on the riot at the Capitol.
But
like
all the
how the
things.
hell could we not all be behind that?
Almost like everything that we talk about, like anything that's out there, if you look at it through our lens of like how things had changed, like you said, progressively through, and the reality of it is that it's even more leaning that way. And it doesn't really matter what's on TV. It doesn't matter who goes towards the Capitol. It doesn't matter how many people vote, really, even. It's still moving towards.
So, but it's a collective, but it's a
saying, like,
collective
even
vibe, right?
know,
It's a vibe. It's a vibe to treat another person like shit. It doesn't matter
I'm not
what's
saying-
going on around the world.
No, I know.
Right? Because if we were all frying balls on acid,
But the
everyone
truth
would be
is-
nice no matter
But
what.
the truth is that the people, more people, even some more of the people. Okay, let's put it. Okay, more of the people that voted, even for Trump, believe in more of the things that are like the people that they voted against. In reality, like if it breaks right down to it, and they're like, well, but I want my fire department. And they're like, well, that's actually paid for by like democratic ideas. So you're voting against your own interest. Oh yeah, but I'm still voting Republican. And if you went through each policy, a lot of people just agree with the other side anyway. So it's a fake fight. It's rich people, most of the rich people, that have hustled a certain part of the population in one way or the other, voting against their own interest, against the other relatively intelligent, or at least following the right people that just try to take care of just what actually just the government's supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like,
See, that's what I don't understand is
within the Democratic Party, all full right wing and full left wing within the Democratic Party, and then you have a nutball party.
a nutball party. That's what I was just gonna say. Because I fucking that's what I. It's fucking hilarious because we were just, or I was, or maybe we both were talking about like what's compelling. You know, like the Colombo
Nothing.
case. Like I'm just saying, like the conservative, like the I was saying, like the I could just hear the tone, the mannerism, the nuance, the cadence. Just I know that the outrage isn't sincere, and I know that the argument's not compelling, and
No.
I do, and I know you do too. I mean, all of us do. Every priest questions their faith.
Yeah.
So of course I fucking tuned in. Of course I've listened. Of course I've listened with an open mind. Like, okay, motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm going to listen to fucking douche Bot McHannity or something. Like I'm going to really listen to this bro, and I'm really going to try to get,
Like,
really
what is he about? What is he about? Let
Straight-
me listen to him.
straight up.
Let me hear it. What do you got? dude?
What I always hear is like we just said, it's trivial, weird, random, fake, disingenuine anger over nothing that I can put my finger on. I'm like, I want to be angry with you, but I don't understand what it is.
Sure.
And then when he says, well, this nut job wants to do this, I'm like, that nut job. Okay, that nut job, Bernie Sanders,
Right.
came up to me and said, I want to make healthcare affordable, and then shows you actual legislation that he wrote
Right.
to do just that. Now
Right.
that, if I like it or not, is compelling.
It's just
It's fucking
interesting.
legislation.
It's interesting.
So my point is like, where's the conservative who's like, okay, there's some ideas in here that work and there's some that don't. Instead, we have conservatives that come out and say, Hunter Biden's laptop, lock him up. Like, that's all I hear. It's just
Right.
this weird, random psychobabble. Nobody's saying, hey, well, how do we lower the cost
I
of
don't know.
healthcare?
Nobody's
This guy
even-
wrote some shit to do it. He's
Right.
a senator.
They're not even going to talk about it.
You're not even talking about
You're not
it.
even having
That's
an
what I'm
adult
saying,
conversation.
dude. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't understand.
Who
I don't
falls
understand
for
how.
that?
That's what I mean. That's what I don't understand is how a Republican voter couldn't see that for what it is.
I don't know.
Like, well, that guy really just wants to do this thing. He wants
They
to
don't
lower.
care.
Instead, they're like, no. They think that guy's out to get them,
Right.
That he wants to lower the cost of their health care because he's in it with like Bigfoot and Soros back pizza parlors on the moon and
They're
like
gonna
weird
put-
shit
they're
that doesn't
gonna
really make
stab you.
sense. And like, they're gonna, yeah.
You're going to start voting for Bill Gates, Microsoft penises, and
at least one of them has something that's compelling.
Something's got it. Like I saw the footage of the aliens. They show the videos. You see the sphere, the aliens. You know that the Pentagon said were like they don't know what they were.
I haven't seen it, huh?
So there's some footage of it, and it's so shitty. You know, and it's like you know what's fucking pissing me off about it, and nobody talks about is why is it when you see like a camera, like we all know 750 billion is what the fucking goddamn military gets. Why do their cameras look like dog shit? What the fuck, man?
There's that meme.
Who falls for that?
There's that meme I've seen recycled a whole bunch of times. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Hey, people. Hey, fucking people. How about demand some good fucking footage, people? Hello? What are we doing here?
Do you know what meme I'm talking about?
No, I haven't seen it. Sorry, I was angry about
No,
that. I really
good.
want to see it.
You'll love it.
I want to see the fucking aliens.
Yeah, the meme is, I've seen a bunch of different versions of it, but one of them will be like, the top image will be like an image of Jupiter and it's just crystal clear.
Yeah.
And then below it, it's like a bank teller video and it's so blurry you can't see anything. Like, how the fuck do we have a perfect picture of Jupiter, but your fucking military doesn't have a nice camera? Like,
dude, they got these long range, like this boat's like following it. And like, it's just like, dude, somebody pull out a cell phone. You know, it's like, oh, I just get a cell phone shot of that sphere. Like your stupid military camera with lines and shit, like going through it,
And if they were even like, here's the other thing, aliens.
It's a fucking alien. Shoot it. Let's see what it is. Jesus. Like I want to see. Is there fucking aliens or isn't there? Here's why.
Of course there is.
We got to get rid of religion in my lifetime. I just want it to go away.
Well, that was a jump.
I mean?
That was
aliens. If aliens come, maybe people will like go, wait a minute, like that. Just like maybe.
No, they won't. No, they fucking won't. Look at the world we're living in. You give people crystal clear evidence right in their face. We just talked about this.
Aliens aren't in the Bible. Aliens aren't in the Bible.
Dude, there's all kinds of shit in the Bible.
Claim them?
They believe in talking snakes still?
Right,
That's in the Bible?
What if they look But what if the aliens look just like snakes and they come out talking?
Oh, fuck.
What language will they speak? What if What if they spoke some language that was only from like biblical times or something? Like it's kind of like, whoa, this shit's kind of like leading to something.
You know, thinking about aliens just like hurts my brain.
I know, but doesn't it sound fucking
No, I
cool
like it. But
that if something actually just had a meeting with a human on TV and you looked at it and it was like from some fucking where else.
Oh god, that creeped me out.
That's so
all those kinds of
cool.
movies creep me out. So I had to revisit it because it was on Amazon or something the other day. I watched District 9 for like the fifth or sixth
great
time.
movie,
and it's still good every time I watch
so
it.
So good,
and it's so fucking creepy.
It's so creepy.
Oh god, dude. Yeah, that's
so many reasons. The acting in it's just fucking great.
It is so great, dude. Yeah, it was convincing.
It is.
Yeah, it was a convincing fucking movie, and like the way the aliens act too. It's like they just act.
I know they came up with a different thing. Didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And that was God, who made that movie?
Fuck, I don't know.
No, dude, it was motherfucker. Is it Peter Jackson or some shit?
I got no clue. You could look it up.
God damn, mother.
Somebody in the chat. No?
So well, there you go though. See. You think it would like change people's minds? That would probably like for a diehard fucking 700 Club watching motherfucker.
Right.
They would spin it as a confirmation of everything they've ever believed.
But
do you know what I mean though? Because everything's a confirmation to them. If they saw aliens, it'd be like, this doesn't disprove the Bible. This actually proves the Bible because it's in this verse that said if you butt fuck a cow behind a barn after cutting its head off. Sorry,
Neil Bioncamp.
I don't think it's the director. I was thinking the producer. Who's saying that?
Yeah, she looked it up for us. Thanks.
Yeah, I was thinking more of the. I think it's the producer. I can't remember. I just watched the other day. Whatever. What a great
good movie. That's good.
Fuck yeah, it's a great movie, and that's. I just thinking about it just makes me depressed.
I think I'm gonna watch it later. I haven't seen it for a while. Yeah, Peter Jackson.
Yeah, it is Peter Jackson. Okay.
10 pets.
Well, I just watched it, so I just remember seeing it in the. I remember seeing it in the title or the credits, and I was like, "Oh, that motherfucker made this movie." I didn't know that. It's totally sets up for a sequel, and there isn't one. Remember?
Maybe that's in the works.
Remember Chappie?
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
Yeah.
That was a good movie too. Nick was right. High five.
High five.
I can't read because I can't see up there.
It's kind of far. The screen we have is just not.
It's not
very high. It's not super. It's medium. Like for the 90s, in the 90s when we were kids, if you had that TV in high school, wouldn't you be like the coolest kid in town?
Oh fuck yeah, that'd be the sickest fucking TV anywhere. I remember my buddy, my rich buddy got his fucking.
It solved this.
Oh, shit.
So the mouse is over there.
That's so far, dude. My buddy who was like my richer friend when I was a kid, he had like the first flat screen TV, and it took like 6 of us to carry it in his house.
Oh yeah,
and it sat on the fucking floor. It was like a fucking piece of furniture, dude.
Yeah, those dank days.
It would like make your power bill go up.
Right, it's on fire. It's like hot. Heat the house.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, I fucking remember. Dude, check this out. This is my buddy. I used to go to his house. The guy had this TV, and his brother comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, check out this fucking pistol." And he pulls out this huge nickel-plated fucking Smith & Wesson revolver in the kitchen. I'm like, "That's pretty cool, man. You know what's going on?" He's like, "Come here, bro." Takes me into the basement of his house, and he's just got like a shooting range in this basement.
Wow.
I don't know why. I just remembered that.
That's awesome.
It was fucked. I was like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You have those friends who just have guns, right? Like I had a buddy who would just like pull a gun out and just start shooting it at parties.
All the parties in high school.
Oh, fuck. Okay, check this out. You know Remy?
Oh, yeah.
I'm at a party one night. This is on video.
Okay. So it's true.
It's true. Oh, it's true. It's on a video.
Sorry,
you know
folks,
what?
sometimes our stories are not true.
That is not true.
Some of them are not true.
This was on video, and there's 3 witnesses, James, me, and Remy. So we're at a party on the York Hill house.
Sure.
And I just grabbed a shotgun off the wall because Remy had a shotgun on the wall.
Sure.
And I'm like, it's loaded. I'm like, let's go. So I went out with the camera and just blasted into the fucking woods. Night vision camera on, so like the light just flares up. I don't know. I watched that video, Roman. Like, I could have fucking killed somebody.
Right.
That's how you Hood River motherfuckers, dude. Seriously, I blame you.
I would.
You're the one who said you filled a pond up with gasoline and shot a flamethrower.
It was a small pond, but yeah, it was a flamethrower. Yeah. It was fun. That's probably, I thought about like the top 10 stories that I could even tell on here, and that was the only one I thought of that I could actually tell. Yeah,
the shotgun one was, I mean, seriously, that's dumb.
Oh, yeah. No.
That was just stupid as shit, dude. There could have been a menage a trois with like 2 huge sumo wrestlers and like a kangaroo or something out there. I don't know.
In the woods.
It could be all kinds of shit out there. There could be like a homeless camp.
Joggers.
Could be a jogger. It could be a jogger out in the middle of the woods. It's York Hill. You don't know. You know?
Especially, I mean.
Oh, and on the video, Remy comes up and just rips the gun out of my hand, all super pissed off. It's pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds legendary.
Yeah, man.
We should use it in our music video.
That's something to be super proud of, man.
Do you still have that? Do you still have the footage?
I do. No, I don't. Actually, you know what's funny? Those tapes were stolen out of my car.
Son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. And now it's stolen out of my car in a story I told on this podcast.
Who the fuck would steal a tape of somebody shooting into the woods?
They stole my video camera and I had all my tapes with it.
What a bunch of pricks.
Yeah. That was the story about when I went to the pub at the end of the universe and woke up in a rando apartment.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that one? Yeah. Vicodin and a little bit of Xanax, and I think every single cocktail that they had.
Yeah.
Oh, and a big old pitcher of Red Hook.
So a Heath Ledger Friday, basically.
Dude, that's just how I rolled back then. I was out of control at that age.
No, I agree. I think that's a big part of like everyone's life. You could call it. You could either do that when you're young and you go, "What the fuck am I doing?" or die, or you have a midlife crisis. So really, you're not getting out of this. If you play it by the book.
This
when you're a youngster and you play it by the book, then good on you and good job, and that's probably the smarter route. Ultimately, but still, there's a wave coming. You know, and like when I see people who are like successful but they're struggling in life and they like actually have everything that you could ever dream of, but they just don't know what to do. Man, I think you need to go get a shotgun. And, you know, probably just shoot it like in your house. Like, you know, if you're rich, you know, what difference does it make?
Right.
And like you just shoot it in your house and just blow the fucking sconce right off the wall.
Right.
And literally you'll probably, it'll probably be the cheapest and most effective, quick way to like realize you don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You might even leave it there. So you can just remind yourself that you don't really want to be a fuckhead. Like it's painful and kind of ugly. You know what I mean? But you can just not be, you know, you can not let it creep into your mind that like what you're doing is not the best you can do. You know, and like sometimes you got to see like a kind of almost harmless to some degree version of that.
I was just thinking I haven't shot a gun since the eclipse.
Oh, yeah?
That was the last time I shot my pistol because we went out camping
Sure.
out east so we could catch that eclipse. That was sick as fuck, by the way. That split my freaking.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Where was I? I forgot.
That shit split my wig. I took my fucking breath away. That was,
pretty
nuts.
cool.
It looked like this is what the best way I could describe it. It looked mythical.
Yeah, it looked like.
Because it's nothing my eyes had ever seen. So it just looked fake.
Yeah,
It
like
looked
that.
like a fucking, like something in a story or something. Like it looked mythical. It was fucking nuts.
Yeah, it was joyous.
It was so crazy, man. It was not what I was expecting. But yeah, last time I shot my gun, and guess what? James's daughter, Charlie,
Mm-hmm.
I think she was only 10 at the time.
Right.
She hit more targets than me with my goddamn gun. I'm terrible with that pistol.
Well, that's normal. I mean, you know, I don't know why anybody would just be good with a pistol.
They're
you know?
fucking hard as hell to
I
shoot.
imagine that you really just got to shoot a bunch, you know, or
Yeah.
something.
I can hit
That's
anything
what
with
it
a
is.
rifle because I was raised with rifles.
Right.
I could fucking hit targets from a mile away if I
Right.
fucking have the right artillery and shit.
Right.
I remember my brother fucking nailing a fucking 7-Up can at a quarter mile. And I always remember that day because we set up for it forever.
Right.
You know, and I just remember my dad, my brother setting up everything. Like they had the fucking angle down, all this bullshit. When he hit that, I'm like, that looks like fun.
Right.
Yeah, and then you pull out a pistol and you can shoot like 200 rounds and not hit a target.
Yeah, yeah.
It sucks.
Well, you know, I mean, like, whoa.
That was weird. Oh shit! I just bumped this.
No, that was
My
wild.
bad. Now it's back to
No,
normal.
that was wild.
Yeah, that was wild.
They got like all super crazy sound.
Yeah, I wanted to say the first time I bought this pistol, my buddy and me took it up to Post Canyon,
Uh-huh.
and we bought like, I swear to God, we had like 180 rounds, maybe something like that.
Sure.
Dude, I don't think, maybe it wasn't that many. All I know is we bought a lot of bullets, and him and me shot them all, and neither one of us hit a goddamn thing. And right when we were leaving, I never forget this. Right when we were leaving, I'm like, "Fuck this thing!" And I just popped it off the hip. You know, just hit the. It's a single action
Sure.
revolver.
Uh-huh.
So I just fucking hit hit on the hip like a fucking cowboy or something. Hit the fucking can. That was the only shot that hit anything that day.
So what you're saying is you finally got warmed up. And that was like the end.
I can definitely hit some things with it. Just, dude, not very far away.
Nah, but it's not supposed to.
Right. Yeah,
That's fun.
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think.
It's fun. If they weren't so loud, I'd be more into it. The loudness of a gun is just like my ears are already shot from playing music.
Totally. Well, mine's a 22. It's not very loud.
Nah, those are good.
Yeah. It is loud, but not that loud.
Right. But I mean, you know, like a cool gun usually has a lot of boom to it.
Yeah, cool guy guns.
Yeah.
Cool guy guns, man. That's another thing, man. So many goddamn guns, man. They're bouncing down the street and shit. Everybody's got one.
They're just laying out in the street right now. I saw 5 of them when I walked. I tripped over a gun actually on my walk in. And they're just making them. They're just throwing them out the door.
You're just like kicking them.
Every time the garbage man comes and takes out a garbage, he leaves behind a gun.
Oh my
It's a new program I heard.
Is it warm in here?
It's warm. It makes me feel like the door got left open yesterday. Maybe it was 105 yesterday or something weird like that, and it just like beat on the top of the building. Wonder how the Dalles is doing. I heard it was caught on fire.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Should we do a weather report? for the
Yes,
Dallas?
we'll do a breaking weather report. It looks like it's contained. It appears as if it's contained. Anyway. Well, 14,000 viewers again tonight.
Live.
So you know what I was thinking, Roman?
What?
So I've been watching some streaming lately.
Okay.
And just, trying to, check out the culture I'm investigating.
Okay. Sure.
So I noticed that, like, super smoking hot babes with huge boobs stream for like 5 or 10 hours or something.
Yeah.
And
you noticed that for 5 hours?
yeah, bro, they do. They stream like all fucking day.
Right.
So it's kind of like what you were saying at the beginning. Like the idea is like you can tune in whenever and kind of engage with it.
Sure.
I feel like we're like more like a podcast.
Probably.
Like nobody engages with us, probably because the shit we're talking about is just fucking batshit crazy.
A little.
And plus we're way too sexy.
I mean,
we're way sexier than most streamers.
To just talk to. Yeah, like probably a little intimidated. Plus, like, when I wear my V-cut, I always wear this undershirt, and I guess if I left it a little more open so that like, people could see my cleavage, it might be more helpful.
So what you're saying? No, I'm not saying we should get naked.
No.
What I'm saying is, I don't. So we're streaming to like YouTube and Facebook.
Sure.
So do we see like Facebook engagement out there?
Not. It should, but I'm not sure, and it's never really accurate.
All right, don't make me sing my Blowin' Homeless Guy song. Okay, I'll sing my Blowin' Homeless Guy song. That's a pretty good one, though, huh?
I like it. Yeah, I watched that video.
See, that's the other thing. So I'm like, I'm having like some struggles right now, like with, I don't know. First of all, social media.
Okay.
Fucking blows.
Oh man, it's so boring.
There's nothing on there, and everybody's full of shit all the time.
I know.
Okay.
I know. It's boring.
It's super boring. So today, I went on my Facebook feed. Right. And I fucking, it has the snooze for 30 days thing.
Sure.
I did it to every single fucking thing I saw.
That's good.
Everything. Every person, every post. Oh, not person.
Right.
People I don't really know super well.
Yeah,
I know I'm only friends. I only have like 260 friends or something.
Snooze them.
Well, I did it because I'm sick of those motherfuckers. I wanted to see what the fuck Facebook would do if I took away its redundant, repetitive fucking algorithm bullshit.
Sure.
So far, there's some shit on there I've never seen before.
Nice, isn't it?
It is. It's refreshing. It reminded me of when Facebook first came out. It was really fucking engaging.
That was just normal.
It was engaging as fuck. You'd get on there and you'd see all your friends and everything they're posting.
Right.
Not just 2 or 3 of them.
No.
Yeah. So I don't know what their strategy is by making their product less engaging, but it's working. I'm not on there as much.
Well, they had so many or have so many people that I think they balance out the amount of money they make with how good they think they need to make it. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like the McDonald's model. It's like, this is good enough that people will eat it at high quantities. And if we make it too good, then we won't quite make as much money. And we'll really only gain a few people. So here's this sweet spot where you can make the most money with the most people spending the least amount of effort.
But eventually, the system's going to get flooded.
Sure.
It already is.
But I kind of almost wonder if it won't, no matter what you do, that there isn't like a life cycle of internet stuff, no matter what, that it has to be somewhat reinvented. You know what I mean? I don't know what the cycle is. Maybe 10 years, 20 years, something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know. You're right. But also the other thing I think of is make fucking hay while the sun's out.
Yeah, I mean,
so like if you're sitting there like, hey, we could make a lot of money right now if we made our product more engaging, or we might survive and make a lot of money in 10 years in a business that's brand new that nobody has survived that. But
I also wonder too, maybe if there's not a lot of like, not a lot more engagement of less quality engagement, but a lot of engagement on the platform that they're okay with because it brings dollars in.
Okay, so that's what we've talked about
just
before.
because, you know.
How is it bringing? So that's what I'm trying to say. That's what we've talked about before. What I don't understand is this: the data that they provide, right?
Right.
Is they're the only ones who know it. They don't have an independent fucking.
But they're taking like bids on what it probably is, right? From people who want to advertise.
Okay, no, what I'm saying, that's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So I'm a business, and I want my advertisement on Facebook.
Right.
And Facebook tells me we have this many people engaged with Facebook. They're the only source I have for how many people are engaging with their product.
I completely agree.
So my point is, don't you think, because I am just another person like everyone else, that eventually I'd be like, you know what? I'm suspicious. Well, because no one I know is on Facebook. I go on there to see my ad, and nobody I know is on there engaging with my ad. So you know what I mean? Though eventually you'd start to pick up on it. Like, there's nobody actually using your product. It's just all advertising. It's all bots and advertising. Nobody's actually on there, man.
I think it's just that they can sell these ads, because what happens is like they sell an ad for like Verizon. So Verizon buys this huge fucking ad package with Facebook, right? Every like, $100,000. I don't know what the fuck, right?
Okay.
And then all of a sudden the next day they have like, this huge surge in signups. So I think they if they didn't, they wouldn't do it. So the money that people spend on these things, I think is just directly related to some other reverse concept that, and then you have people who are really just dumping money in a way that's okay for them to dump money without paying the taxes, a way to write off money one way or the other. So they might do it through some kind of fund or something like, and so the commercial doesn't really need to highlight anything. It can be like just kind of this just lump of shit, like Exxon. People they just have a family and they're eating lunch. So Exxon.
You could let's say you could hypothesize, if you're Verizon in your case, and you're hypothetical, you could hypothesize the hypothetical and say, okay, I'm going to take a random 50-50 here and just say there is engagement on Facebook.
There's a lot of engagement.
So what you're
quantity or something.
Right, but what we just talked about too, and I think it's what Callista just brought up too, is it's mostly ads.
It is now.
So it is now. So like if you go onto Facebook, you are going to engage with that Verizon ad. So Verizon would feel like, hey, you know what? This might work because all this platform is ads.
Well, and they also know, like if we put an ad on, if we say we had a video and then we spend $50 on pushing it around the area, right? We're going to notice. Like I've done it before. Like I had a budget for the festival that we put on, and I noticed immediately the difference in spending money on Facebook and the different people that would engage in it that I already knew versus just putting it on Facebook. Like I did it, like, you know what I mean? Like I did it not just out of my own pocket, but like as a part of the budget.
Because that's the only way that they're actually going to make your product engageable is if you pay them.
Yeah, and they actually put it on people's pages then. Right. You know what I mean? And so you realize like that it is one of the reasons why we're streaming the West Goats this through my personal page is because less people will see it when I put it on the West Goats page. Because it's a group or a band or a business. It needs to be paid for. Yeah. So, but then it also like, it makes it to where it isn't exactly the way I want to put it. I want to actually make the header be for the band, but I'd rather get more engagement. So that was just the choice.
That's all interesting, actually. And you made some great points. So like on its way out the door, and that's where it's going. Facebook's out the door.
People pay for that though. I'm saying because it works. So right now, I don't think Facebook, like what it is that it doesn't need to be what it used to be for it to be a really profitable company, because it's still like the yellow pages, and people still go to it. And when you go and it has had so much engagement that when you just Google some business, then their Facebook page is going to pop up,
and
even if it's old.
Sucks. That pisses me off when that happens.
Well, it's going to be there for a long time.
I hate it, bro. I hate it. You know what's been really driving me nuts? Menus, man. I'm trying to look up a goddamn menu, and it's like, oh, go to our Facebook. I don't have Facebook on my phone, motherfucker. Yeah, that's at my house.
Well, but I was out of town, and I was trying to go get some food, and I went to this Chipotle, and they weren't taking orders. You could only order on the app, and I couldn't get service to download the app. So I was just standing there. There was a lady standing there. I'm like, I could just yell at you, hey, can you give me a burrito? And like, no. I couldn't even read the credit card number, like yell it to her. You know, it was just like that kind of shit. You know, you think like, okay, well, you know, if everybody dies, then we kind of deserve it. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they let you in the building to talk to them, to tell you that you can't be in the building to talk to them.
Also, it's like, yeah.
I mean, I think the breach, it's been breached.
So it's not social media. There is no socializing.
No.
And there actually was at some point in time. There was socializing.
People used to fuck before toothpaste. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the first thing I always tell them.
You know,
tell kids when they ask.
People didn't even have soap.
Yeah.
And they used to actually fuck. You know what I mean?
Right.
Dang,
right.
dude.
Yeah.
Dang.
I thought about that before. Like, damn, Old West and shit.
Yeah,
like,
Old West are like making out. They got like wooden teeth making out and shit. That's some weird shit.
So I was noticing too, like the whole what it, and this is just the most obvious, like what it's done, social media has done, is it's like this world of just people just saying condescending, you know, patronizing, condescending shit.
Yeah.
What that tells you though is, wow, nobody's here to like. We're not here to talk about anything.
No, but they're not even good at it. Like if you're gonna insult someone though, and you're gonna like make fun of someone, it should be funny. Like, you know what I mean? That's comedy. That becomes comedy then. Like it's funny then.
It sucks though when you can't just have a conversation about something.
Well, you know what I've been like lately.
That's when I realized that's who's engaging with Facebook.
But let me explain. That's true, but I don't expect Facebook to provide me with a conversation. I mean, like I don't.
It's not them. I'm talking about the personality type, the kind of guy who logs on. What are you looking for? And that's what I wanted to ask you that too. What do you do on Facebook?
I have a Facebook that's basically just kind of tailored to the idea of a way to promote shows, but not so. I commit.
No, I mean, like, what do you do when you go on?
I'm saying I commit to the idea of going through it and engaging in it to some degree in order to not just make it look like a person who just posts their band stuff only. So I kind of look at it like part of the deal is some social media engagement in order to continue not kind of losing touch with that while I'm trying to actually just get better shows or get more shows or make sure that I'm some part of knowing what's going on when it comes to just playing. Mm-hmm. Definitely, if I wasn't playing music, I wouldn't maybe even have a cell phone. I'm not sure because I just don't. None of it interests me at all. Like I don't. Not everything I do on there though is some kind of what I consider to be some kind of a little bit of a job to create like a smart ass meme persona. I find a picture that I think's funny and try to make a point or just be a dickhead, but I don't really try to talk to anyone too often. Sometimes I do, but I shut it down usually when I realize pretty quickly that somebody isn't like they're not trying. You know what I mean?
Or
like,
it's just psycho.
Yeah, but I like to laugh. I do a lot of laugh faces on things where like I read something today about like some just insane shit about like why Israel should do whatever they're doing, and I don't have anything. I can't be mad because that's stupid to be. I just can't. I am mad. It's angering, but I just got to laugh because it's just ridiculous.
It is. And you got to laugh because you know that there's not going to be any kind of constructive conversation about that.
Come on.
And that's the other thing. It's like the social media platform is what it is for Americans is I'm going to be a celebrity. Isn't that kind of part of it? Like that's
well, they're not talented though. It
doesn't matter. That's irrelevant.
Yeah, but
the point though is like that's the approach. Like I'm gonna go onto this social media website and I'm gonna be someone else. And you know what I mean? And I'm gonna be Mr. fucking cool guy who fucking knows all about this or knows all about that. Or I'm gonna be fucking patronizing, condescending dick guy who fucking provokes people. Or, or whatever. Sure. like to get some kind of personal satisfaction out of it. So then there's the lone sorry son of a bitch like me who's on there and I'm like, oh, really? Is that in the budget? Hey, do you think that this would work if they did, get out of here, Trumper, fuck you, go get fucked?
yeah.
Like, whoa. No. I'm just really genuinely curious. And it's like, well, there's nobody on here who's interested in that.
Nah.
But that's what I mean is that type, it's like they're not there to get information.
Well,
it's not there about discourse.
I wish.
It's about promoting a product, and the product is you.
Well, I mean
that's, isn't it though? That's what it is on Facebook. It's you. I'm Joe Smith.
I walked.
You know what I mean? This is me. It's my product.
You're
Yo,
right.
I troll the internet, bro.
I'm first thinking like when I first like learned about something like that, like let's video ourselves. Okay, cool. And then Jackass, kind of when that came out, I was like, okay. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I never really watched it much.
Me either.
It kind of hit me like, man. Like,
I watched fucking CKY.
It was kind of depressing. It was a little depressing.
Speed.
But it was a little depressing because most of my friends did most of that shit and like got massively injured, and not the same guys doing the same fucked up shit to their bodies over and over again, but like just each person doing one dumb thing.
Like when Peter Griffin took the shopping cart off the roof.
Yeah, or just like snorting like 80 kinds of shit out of the cupboard, or you know what I mean? Just like things that aren't smart. And my point is though, is like I was like really anti about just like being a fuckhead on tape, like I was just like, when it first kind of became YouTube, I just wasn't interested. Like I thought, like I saw people doing kind of what we're doing right now, and I thought, nah. And then as time went on, like I wanted to be kind of serious, like I thought life would be more of, there was more of a niche to being like a little more concerned and serious. And like I'm a social worker. Clearly I have a serious like layout for my work and things like that, and like I enjoy that. I enjoy serious politics, but as time went on, I started to see like comedians and people like that make way more sense than people who are serious. Like
George Carlin.
way more sense. You know, they're all over the place. They're just, the whole comedic world is like people who are highly tolerant of each other and just kind of open-minded. The roasts are ridiculous. The fact that people can say that kind of shit about each other and not get mad, they reminded me of athletes, and I like athletes. They're thick-skinned. They shake hands. They try to kill each other and they shake hands afterwards. Like that's normal. And I think that's an important part of life, And I think the people who try to get around that, I just don't like them.
Well, we're in that batshit crazy.
So I quit being a pussy about it,
right.
and I decided like, well, let's be. And this is more about like even way back in the day when I started playing music and started making up my own shit and going on stage and saying fucked up shit in front of people and not caring about it and just testing people. And then I kind of evolved past that, where I started traveling around the world. I started just kind of making like the world a comedy act because it just seemed like such a joke. Like I ran into so many situations that were so ridiculous that the only thing there was just a laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then as time goes on, I just see that more and more, where there's no way to interact with something so stupid.
That's what I wanted to say is we talked about this in another podcast about that governor, or whoever the fuck his name was, saying something about trying to negotiate with the batshit crazy American conservative.
Yeah.
When he's like, no, the sky's not red. And he's like, and this isn't a 50-50 thing.
Right.
This is a 99-1. You're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean, though. It's so hard to like roast somebody, Roman,
right,
when they actually are insane.
It's mean.
That's where we're at, though. When you're saying to somebody, I want to make fun of it.
Yeah, but it was our problem was a long time ago that we decided to make up these like arbitrary concepts where like behavior wasn't equated to like who a person was. It was all this hypotheticals. So we've gone down these wrong roads where, and now that's just our society we live in.
No, I just mean you can't.
So we grew these psychos. We grew them through like a weird version of freedom of speech and some weird, like, you know what I mean? Like we just quit addressing people like, hey, hey, little Jimmy in the class, why don't you shut the fuck up?
Well, there's this,
what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
okay, yeah. Well, I always think, and I always bring this up, that I listened to all freaking 70 plus hours the first impeachment. Remember me telling you this. And what was interesting about it wasn't the impeachment, it was learning how crazy these motherfucking conservatives actually are. So that's what I'm trying to say about, like, how do you have a roast? How do you find the humor in somebody who is clinically insane.
You can't.
So when Adam Schiff's like, you know, at the impeachment hearing, he's like, we have a timeline where this happened and that happened. And now it's like, how say you? And Devin Nunes says, Hunter Biden's laptop and lock up. You're like, whoa, bro, we're not talking about that. Like, how do you, that's what I'm saying though. Like, I can't find the humor in that. I look at it like, bro, you need to get help.
No, it is.
Like,
but
you need help, bro, because you need a compelling rebuttal against what that guy said. And you're talking about like, you're talking about aliens or something, dude. Like, you're not even in the room with us right now. Like, that's fucking crazy.
There's a certain kind of Buddhism that I've invented for myself. People are welcome to follow it, but it's relevant to this. You have to be, if you're gonna have the philosophy of suffering, then you have to let it burn down from the people who want to burn it down. Like, you can't actually stop them because it'll just accelerate their, you know what I mean? Like, some people are intent to burn it down. Like, you can't really stop them. You know what I mean? So what you can do though is make your ideas look really good to their kids, so that you know they don't pass their stupidity on to generationally. But in some ways, life is really kind of generational, and whatever you're in, wherever you're at, you're not really going to change it that much where you're at. These bigger things have to be changed over a long period of time, which means we have to just marry to the idea that what the right idea is, just live the way you want to live and kind of just live with it. You know what I mean? Those people, those psychos have gained mega ground in just like a short period of time.
I know, and I don't understand because it's not compelling. That's what I'm saying.
It isn't, but it's what it is it's anything. When what they were preaching 5 years ago, before Trump, what the Republican Party was preaching, literally nothing. Like, you remember, that's why Trump beat all those people, because they just couldn't even they didn't know what they were talking about. They had no idea.
But it kept going that way. The RNC didn't even have a platform. They don't have a
crazy town.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right. So that's kind of
that's all that was left.
You're right.
You know, it's
because no, you're right. You're fucking right. You're so fucking right. It was all
and that's
that.
So back then, I said, before Trump, I said,
there's no cause.
How could you've lost it. You've completely lost it, because they were like, I thought no matter who ran, I'm like, well, like, probably Hillary, like, if they would have ran anyone else, it would have been like 80-20, because people were just over all of it. But Hillary was so bad. Like, not only was she bad as a candidate, but I felt like people were like forcing the whole, like, this is, we have to vote for a woman or you're a piece of shit, and we have to vote for this woman. And you're like, wait a minute. Like, even if you do want to vote for a woman, why are you only giving us this one to choose from?
It was so bad.
And that's she kind of cheated against Bernie, and most people knew
she
that.
She absolutely did.
So a ton of Bernie people switched over to Trump. And I didn't because I'm 40.
Right.
I'm 45. But fuck, if I was 25 in my life then, I probably would have been a Bernie to Trump guy.
And then
Trump would have went racist, and I would have been like, oh, that sucked. Because he didn't really go racist town until after the election.
Yeah, he did. He was talking about murder and rapists. They bring their worst people.
That's not racist. That's just redneck. Racist is fucking when somebody runs someone over in a parade and you don't even mention it. Or, you know what I mean? There was some hard, like, people died. Not just talking shit. Talking shit was a mega part of what Trump was. Grabbed by the pussy, all that. But it was all talking shit.
Well, talking racism. Pretty soon, once he got,
well, I'm not saying it wasn't racist as fuck, but I'm saying it was covert, not overt.
Yeah, well, he tried to do mafia
on
shit,
both sides. Was hardcore, like people chanting shit, holding torches.
Yeah.
And then he just went like super lenient on it.
Yeah,
and that's wild.
Yeah, it was wild.
That was dark. There was people who probably sat at home and cried because they just, like, we crossed a bridge.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking weird. And again, like, you actually made a good point. Like, that the American conservative has no message. They have no platform. They don't fight for anything. There's no, we're going for this. So you're right. The only thing they had left was batshit crazy spectacle.
They're going for, don't talk to me about it. I don't want to tell you.
No, I mean, that's
what they're going for. They're like, leave me alone.
Well, what I'm saying is, like,
it's not a thing. Trust me.
That they'll make a circus.
That's all there is.
That's all that was left to get attention to the party, to get anybody to jump on board with this, because, like you said, there's no message.
And it also sucks up people who checked out, because a message clouds up the idea that you might think about it, and then you might disagree with it. So if you have nothing, it's not agreeable or disagreeable.
And you
It's
can
just
say
my
anything
team.
and everybody loves
It
it.
just means my team.
Yeah, and everything you say is, that's what I'm saying.
But
We're
if
going to
you just-
accept
if you just say,
everything
we're
we say.
going to do it.
Like,
Do what? We're going to do it.
We're going to do it. We're going to go
get them.
We're going to get them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Don't ask.
Exactly. Like,
You know
we're
what I mean?
going to
Like,
take
we
back
don't-
the country. Okay, from what? The guys with the thing.
They're trying to cut the Pentagon budget.
Yeah.
You know what that means? Because we know we need to spend a lot of money because they're coming for us.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of words just strung together, and they're like,
No
yeah,
accountability, no how much for this. I don't
super
know.
compelling.
You can't
man.
ask. That might be secret. Are you terrorist? You going to find out what we're spending on bombs? I can't tell you. Like, you're like, okay, dude. But we're a democracy to some degree. At least some part of us are. And the idea is we got some kind of way. We got a representative that's supposed to speak on our behalf. And then they get in the majority and they don't do a fucking thing to win. Which lets me know that, like, the shit they don't vote on, the shit they don't win, means they don't want to win. Because they got a majority.
You know,
And they
right.
don't want to win.
Oh, they don't actually. It's funny.
Nah.
I'm just saying it because right now, like with gerrymandering, with the electoral college, with the filibuster, we have a minority rule in this country. So that's not a democracy. If we all voted, but it's like, yeah, it's really just a suggestion.
Well,
Because we actually have this system. It's like, well, wait, isn't it a majority rule? No, it's not. It doesn't fucking matter. But kind of like what you were saying. And I wanted to say this. It's because politics fucking blows.
Oh, it's boring.
You're not going to, no, I mean like to work. You're not going to find me signing up for that shit.
No.
And that's another.
Yeah, but they get paid. They can do the job.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they're
no, what
supposed
I'm
to.
saying
Get
though
the
is,
fuck out of there.
what I'm trying to say though, is that's why fucking really lousy people are attracted to that kind of work.
Oh, yeah. Scum of the fucking earth.
Not just scum, maybe just
No,
incompetent.
they're the second worst people next to real estate agents.
I think we might have some friends who do that.
And then oh, fuck, I got tons of them. I don't care. Fucking stealing people's money.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. What a fucking bunch of fucking bullshit.
If
These
you-
fucking cocksucking motherfuckers.
Hey, man. I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying. If you're going to take people's money, then just take the money and then take my shit. And that's the way it goes. Who cares?
Roman, what if I just did like my conservative style rant where I'm like super angry and bitching,
Right.
and like you turn it on and I look so sincere, but
Like a thumbnail.
you can't figure out what I'm mad about or who I'm bitching about.
That's
You know,
a true
so I'm like,
rant.
like fuck these motherfuckers and their stupid shit. And all their motherfucking do that
can't do
legislation
that.
bullshit because both fucking buttheads are fucking shit
They can't
fuckers.
do that to you.
Fuck that butt fucker.
They can't do that to you.
They did it.
They can't.
It's done.
But they can't.
That's
do
why
it.
you won't find me
I'm
in
telling you,
politics.
they
though.
can't do that.
That's why you won't find me in politics. That's why you find nothing but buttheads in politics.
Yeah, it's boring.
All a bunch of buttheads.
They need to just give us money.
But damn,
We'll tell you. We'll talk good about you if you're a politician. If you just give us a lot of money, we'll do it.
no man,
Easily.
no, I won't.
I will. I'll flip sides right now. I will talk good about any politician that just writes me a check. What's the minimum donation? $50.
The minimum donation for West Goats stream is $50. Cash.
Cash or Venmo.
Or we also accept winning lottery tickets,
That's true.
bottles and cans,
Maybe.
SNAP benefit cards,
Do we have those still?
and used condoms. Or we call them
Really?
Lucy's. We'll rinse them out.
I don't want that, but if you leave it on the back
What are
porch.
you talking about, dude? He's talking about some big
I'm talking
business
about the
opportunities.
cans. I'm
It's a
talking about
huge business opportunity. I mean, if you combine that with the fucking recycled needle program, dude, we're
That's
finding
true.
all kinds of fucking revenue.
And we're saving the world, actually.
We are saving the goddamn world.
Just one condom at a time.
one fucking wasted junkie's life at a time.
I know.
Oh jeez.
That's getting. I mean, to be honest, with you, this is getting deep. I just got a little. Hold on. Fucking emotional.
What? Oh, you crying?
Just
Crying?
talking
That's
about saving people and their condoms.
Yeah, that's funny.
Wait a minute. Is that? Could we get stem cell research to use condoms? I wonder if that's a grant. We should look that up.
You can do stem cell from a flake of skin, can't you?
I don't know. Could you do like protein chips? Maybe like. I don't know.
You know what? I'd be super into growing my own meat if I had like a lab.
Yeah, let's start that. Does
And
anybody know anything about that in our chat?
It would fit in great with my heroin farm
Do you have one of those?
and my tequila farm.
So when you were in Afghanistan serving, you started that opium farm there, huh?
Opium? No, I grow pure heroin.
Oh, just pure heroin on the vine.
Yeah, it's a heroin tree. It actually grows on the needle.
On the vine. Oh, on the needle, in the needle.
Oh yeah. It grows on the needle.
That's so convenient. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow. I wondered what those were those are down by LA. I didn't realize that. I saw those when I drove by last time I was down there.
Yeah, it's a hybrid walnut tree, and they kind of crossed it with heroin needles, and they produced this new tree. It goes. It's what's cool about it is it right next to my tequila farm.
Sure.
By the way, dude, there's like big fat bottles of tequila on the trees right now.
Oh, we should head down there. Yeah, we should go down there. That's a good idea.
Oh yeah, dude, harvest is coming up pretty soon. I got a couple of handles growing on there too. They're getting fucking big, you know.
Well, that's nice.
You don't want to pick them when they're just shooter size.
No,
when they're the airplane bottle size. You want to wait until they get big, you know.
Yeah, balloon out better.
Yep, that's the first thing my great grandpappy taught me when he taught me how to farm tequila and heroin.
Right. So the needles are big too?
Oh yeah, man.
I like that. It's like a Monty Python skit.
Monty Python's fucking tasteful shit.
I know. I agree. I'm sorry.
No. That's
Excuse me, Monty Python.
No, I mean it's an honor. You're comparing me to some of the greatest.
Oh yes. I mean
the Holy Hand Grenade.
I mean, maybe
the Holy Hand Grenade. Yeah, it is still funny. I actually watched it. Like I don't know.
It's pretty smart stuff. Did you guys see the fucking? I had this out. It hit me in the head earlier. This is the Michael McDonald fucking case lid down here. If you guys, anybody wants to come out and touch it,
Michael McDonald's gonna be at your funeral. But what's the movie as 40-Year-Old Virgin where it's just playing the whole time inside there? That would just that's like some Guantanamo Bay shit right there.
That's really, you get hooked when you watch 40-Year-Old Virgin. You get hooked on Michael McDonald. Just watch the first 10 minutes of it.
It's so funny because I don't know. I'm such a dick. I'm such a critic, but I like all kinds of stuff, and that's why I'm like, I don't believe it. I don't believe that voice. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, but have you heard him sing in a bunch of different songs with the Dubs? That like he always sounds a little different. Like he's just it's theatrical vocalist. Like he just has like a little more, a little less, and like I just think
it's like I said, opera
in a way, maybe. Like I don't know what it is, but like when he wants to do something, like he makes it extra. I think the guys like say like I throw out another person that got really bad. Like, the whole maybe first. I don't know. I'm gonna say first, but I don't know. Maybe there's somebody else. But Eddie Vedder, right? There's that thing with
it's the urban sound. Yeah.
And then a lot of people, like, and then it went to like Creed and them, and people took it all over the place, right? But like people started to hate it, but really it's just like a style. It's just a style. Like I think people hated hair bands for going. And then they didn't like that.
See, but that shit was actually hard to. That's some actual vocal work.
Well, no, I'm not saying. I'm saying. Then it went to like, what is that?
Not hard. I mean, skills.
And then like Ween does that weird shit. Modest Mouse does the thing I just explained.
So
and every song, like people just make a little tweak to some kind of vocal part. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't think it's like not an accent. It's not. It's some theatrical thing that they think goes with the music.
So I got a power band for you right here. Guar.
Okay.
Guar.
Oh yeah.
All right. With Michael McDonald.
Right. Yeah, but see, the thing is, it wouldn't blend very well.
Oh, dude, it
would
be
what I mean?
sick.
Like, but it might be funny. But
I get so falling like rain.
I bet it's like type it in. I bet it's been done. There's so many mashups. No. Somebody did it.
The greatest frontman of all time, the greatest frontman in the history of rock and roll music, the singer of the B-52s. If he was in a band with Michael McDonald and Guar.
Okay. What's the guy you were talking about? Like,
it's a love shot. Yeah, that fucking that dumb shit.
Right, but that's like another thing, right? That's a good example of a guy that's doing like
unbelievable vocals.
Like a thing, but he's doing a thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Like the Cars.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but you might think I'm crazy. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Everyone's doing like a, you know what I mean? Like,
So you know what?
you're so bad.
Yeah.
Tom
Oh
Petty.
God. Yeah. That's
Best
like
thing I ever had.
he is the worst vocalist too, and it's so. I mean, I love his music and the great songs, but yeah, his vocals. My God, it's like. It's so crazy because guys like me, like, I mean, I got a half a voice and I can't get away with it. But
But you're
Tom,
like, Satan is my motor. Motor.
that's what, just thinking, like, Ween is definitely weird
You're
vocals.
my motor.
So, you know what? Maybe I need to revisit Michael McDonald.
And maybe you should listen to more Cake.
I was listening to I was listening to Christopher Cross the other day. I was listening to, Ride Like the Wind, and Michael McDonald's in it.
Okay.
Going down to Mexico. It's just so unbelievable.
No.
God, dude, I wish we could play it on this stream for people, but the world can just suck my big fat
Yeah, they should just
fucking
look it up.
double-headed
Look it up.
silicone gas-powered fucking.
Hit pause on this video right now and look that song up, and then we'll just wait.
I want to look up what the singer of the B-52's name is. It's so unbelievable. I can't see. That's another example. How did they get away with that? Because they got the chicks.
I think they just made a hit. They just made a hit. They were just a band.
No, they
just wrote a hit.
they played fucking shows. They were just like,
I know, trust me, but I'm saying how'd they make it? They had this quirky like idea of like the style of music was like a little dated, and then they made a hit, and then that's it. And then after that, they made a career.
I'm gonna find out what this cock smoker's name is.
Whoa! Now down to the lunch shack. Got me a Chrysler. It's about 20, so get your fucking thumb out of your ass.
I love that you remember the lyrics like that. It's great. Love Shack, Rock Lobster. I didn't know they had a song called Rock Lobster. That's fucking rad. I used to play a disc golf tournament called that back in the day when I played disc golf tournaments. Okay, let's see what old fucking Wikipedia has to say about this B-52 fucking business.
Pure truth. Wikipedia, I live by it.
Let's see. Blah, 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 blah.
True.
Thrift shop aesthetic is what it says the genre is.
That's fucking stupid.
Fred Schneider.
That sounds exactly like his name.
It does. He looks like a Fred
He
Schneider.
does. He looks like, Fred Schneider.
Yeah.
Hey, Fred Schneider. What do you want? I'll take a Big Mac with fries and a Coca-Cola.
It's terrible vocals. It's the worst. I remember like when I was a kid, I grew up with MTV, so I'd go home from school and I'd watch the top 10 countdown. Remember that?
Remember what year was it when it was like Dr. Feelgood was on like every 14th video was
Dr. Feelgood.
It just goes down that tunnel.
Yep. So like B-52s, that shit would come on. I get so pissed, bro. I would get mad. I'd turn the TV down and shit. Like when they were on the top 10 countdown.
So
like
boring.
it was. I just didn't
sometimes those top 10
believe it.
countdowns were so good though.
Well, yeah, they always were. I mean, that's why I watched it.
Remember when Nirvana came out with like the last real album and like it was like I wish I could eat your cancer. Like wasn't that a dark time?
Yeah, dude, it really was. And by that,
Wasn't that just a dark? Like so many people were like just in a bad place in life when in my world back then. And like that song just said every time I hear it, I just smell the like dirty hot summer night.
Totally.
Yes.
See, it's weird. It's like that's a weird point in my life because, like I've told you before, I checked out after 1993. Once I discovered the Grateful Dead,
Right.
I didn't listen to fucking anything but the Grateful Dead.
Sure.
So like all this music, and we talk about all this 90s music that people knew, like Stone Temple Pilots or
Sure.
like or even Tool.
Well, even that's like
Tool, like all those bands that came out in
Sure.
the late 90s, I was checked
Well,
out.
no, but Tool,
Only Grateful
I listened to
Dead.
Tool. Tool though was more like 92, 93. You know,
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
When you,
yeah.
if you first
No.
in the first window.
Sober,
Yeah, then they
everybody
hit
knew
again,
Sober, and it was. I remember when it came out,
But it was
nobody
really
had a bad,
dark.
nobody had a bad thing to say about
Super-
it, though. It was
People listen to Pantera, Slayer,
Yeah.
Metallica, Tool. Like it was pretty dark, pretty
Yeah.
heavy. You know, it wasn't like pop music at the time. Definitely not.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like music changed, society changed. It became like pretty mainstream. Music's still the same. Pretty, not totally the same. Like it's not as dark as it was, but it's still like not like pleasant all the time lyrically.
Right.
But it became like almost, like silly. Is that just music? Because now there's some really fucked up shit on the internet.
Yeah, now there's some shit that doesn't
you can't really
even know
be
what the
dark
fuck
in
to say
music.
about it.
You're just
now.
playing music.
Yeah,
You're
but
not feeling
back
like
in my day, the scariest shit, darkest shit I knew was fucking Tom Araya saying fucking sacrifice the unborn and fucking what was behind the crooked cross.
Yeah,
Like, dude,
Faces of Death. Faces of Death.
those lyrics were gnarly.
Like Face of Death, which we've come to find out is like really a lot of fake stuff. Fake Face of Death, like all those deaths and all
Right.
that.
It's snuff film.
Snuff, basically.
Yeah.
But it like traveled around, and it was like, it was weird because you'd hear somebody say like, "Yeah, I've seen that," and then like a couple of weeks, a month go by or whatever, and then they'd actually see it, and then they go, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're like, what happened?" You're like, "No, hold on, dude, I lied to you. I told you I saw it. Oh, and remember I said it casually? Nah."
Yeah. My friends had that, and I declined.
Something about the VHS version of it.
Yeah, just
It's
not
like,
just that,
kinda
but like
grainy and
I kind of understand, and even I started to understand at a young age because I took LSD at a young age.
Right.
That I started to become aware of what I was putting up here.
Oh yeah.
And
mental Rolodex.
yeah, dude. And that's why I was like, you know what? I'm staying away from that shit. Do you remember rotten.com when that?
Oh yeah.
So like when the internet was brand new, rotten.com. Is that thing still around?
I don't know.
You remember Fecal Japan?
No.
There's that picture of the fucking fountain, like the chick fucking on her back. Bro, and she, dude, we printed that and like put it up around the house. Dude, it was so gnarly.
Right.
But you were talking about Faces of Death. There is an image on there I still can't unsee. I can see it in my brain right now. I can see the dude's eyeball.
Right.
And it was a motorcycle accident picture.
Sure.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just one image.
Oh no, I remember.
So like if I have
have
watched
one in
those
my
movies,
mind. I have one in my mind from that, which is a person cutting the top of a monkey's skull off
on Rotten.
No, on Face of Death.
Oh,
and like literally eating a bite of the monkey's brain while it's just sitting there chilling.
okay. See, I can't even unsee that now, and I can't
unsee it. It's probably fake.
We're done
But
here.
here's the thing: is it was probably a bowl of pudding, and it was probably like 6 inches behind the monkey, and it wasn't actually even real. But it was like a grainy VHS tape. And the thing is it didn't matter if it was real because it was in your imagination. And so like now there's darker movies and shit, but they don't scare me. They're boring. They're stupid. I don't want to waste my time. Like I honestly just don't want to watch the person stand in the hallway before they get murdered for like 30 seconds. Like I'm like,
It's
okay,
so
get to it.
fucking dumb.
Get to it. Kill him. Okay, kill him. Hurry. And I just like it's like so stupid. You know what I mean?
Well,
so I can't watch them anymore. I can't. You know what I mean? Like I can't enjoy them.
The older movies were kind of like that too, because I grew up with. I had them all the Friday the 13th,
Oh, sure.
the Howling, and fucking whatever. And it was always the same thing. It was just like people just constantly getting fucked up.
I really enjoyed the Evil Dead trilogy.
Oh yeah,
I just well, I guess there's 4 of them now,
right.
but I don't.
I'm more like Twilight Zone. I like the psychological.
Oh,
tone.
I like
Do you
Twilight Zone.
remember Event Horizon?
Yeah,
That was
That's a
good fucking movie.
That's what I was gonna say. There you go. You hit it on the nose. What I don't watch is deep sea movies, and it's because I've been in the ocean too much. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like I was playing a video game with my girlfriend the other day, and we took off on this raft out in the middle of this fucking ocean. Like literally, we shouldn't have. Like we had like a level 1 raft, and we just went out into the unknown on this map. And like I've already heard that there's sea monsters in this fucking map, and like I was just like my palms were sweating. Like I know we're gonna die.
In a video game?
Well, yeah, but I mean it's pretty realistic. And you're
Yeah.
like trying to make it. You've been like trying to be this character, you're trying to live, you know?
Yeah.
And like pretty soon, like we sailed around that fucking ocean forever. Found like an island, went over to like like we're out there for 30 minutes sailing around and shit. And pretty soon the sea monster comes up and fucking sure enough, it was stupid as hell. But it was just a stupid video game. But it was exciting though, and it's just the ocean, and it still like signifies something to me because I've been out at sea and it's like really far away.
It's mammoth.
Like when you sail out,
That's why it's so fucking
when you sail
terrifying.
like
It's
all the way to
mammoth.
Hawaii, it's just days.
Fuck that. You're not gonna catch me doing that.
I was just young, and I just didn't. The scariest thing I ever did working for that company was that we had to bucket on and off. So we did this oil rig job where it was parked in the mud. The fucking thing was like, I don't know, 10 stories fucking high up out of the mud, you know? So we had to climb all the way to the top, these stairs, all the way to the top of this oil rig. But it was like these stairs that they built, like a shipyard stairs, right? And so the last week or 2 weeks of the job, they had to take the stairs out because they were getting ready to move it. You know, we're just at the very end. And they had to crane us in this fucked up bucket up onto the top of this fucker. And like the people working there were scary. Like they were not, it was not someone that would get a job if you weren't in Southeast Texas. Like barely employable people where we live. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they were putting us in this bucket. Well, the thing is the pipes on the bucket on where your hands, where you hold on, they were so big you couldn't actually get your hand around them. Like these big rounded pipes, right? And the fucking railing was like about, I don't know, a little bit above your knee. So you're like basically kind of like, imagine you're on a steel pallet that's got 4 big tubes around you, but like barely anything really. And this fucking crane picks you up and swings you way out and around onto this fucking deck every day in the morning and in the evening when you get off work. And dude, there's a big line of guys and you're lining up and there's like 10 at a time. It takes like an hour to get off the fucking thing after you're off work. Like, it's not interesting.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
And I used to just stand there and be like, oh, I don't want to fucking do this.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either.
Like, you know, but there's like no choice. Like you're all the way in Texas. Like you can't even quit the job, really. Not without a big problem. So like how many times I would have quit that job is in the millions if I would have been just in Hood River.
Yeah.
But like the rigmarole and bullshit you got to figure out how you're going to get home from fucking Singapore or the middle of the ocean or some fucked up thing.
Shit.
You know, but like I said, in the end, I didn't regret any of the fact of making it through them all. In fact, usually the worst ones, when we got to the end, they'd be like, all right, well, I know we just all are sailing back and from Australia, but who wants to go to China? And there'd be a few of us like, all right, fuck it, I'll go. I've never been to China. Let's go. So like sometimes we just back-to-back jobs, you know, just because like, why not?
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, I don't think I could hang that. I don't think I could swing like that, bro.
Mostly my friends, like most of the ones I used to like to travel with, like everyone kind of got their own thing going on or their own life or whatever. Like kind of only real reason I quit doing it was because there was just specific guys that you knew you could count on. So we do those jobs and you knew that we weren't going to ditch each other. I mean, we went through shit. You know what I mean? Like we accomplished things together.
Some things.
Well, we accomplished things together. Like we finished whole jobs like in a short period of time and had to really rely on each other. And then like a couple months later, we'd be in another situation where you're like, I know you got this. Like I know you're going to help me. So it was more relaxing. When you started adding brand new guys in and they were just kind of pussies. Like you couldn't hang. Like, you know,
That'd
they
be
just couldn't
me.
hang. And then you'd be like, this sucks, you know, because, you know, it's long hours. And when guys just go, I got to go, I'm going to bed, you know, after 10 hours and like, you're going to be there till like, you know, 9 p.m.
Dude,
You're
I
like,
was just,
fuck, man.
that sounds lame. And I bet you guys all had cocaine in your butts.
Now we had like heavy metal and big stereo systems. Like it was one thing that got me hooked with that company. It was like one of the first jobs I did when I got there. This dude had his job box and he opened it up and it had fucking stereo system like just built into his like toolbox. And he brought it on the road with him. And he was just like, check this out. Fucking plug it in, push play. Fucking just raging fucking metal, you know, like Sepultura. You know what I mean? Like,
fuck yeah.
Just fucking wicked shit, dude. You know, and I didn't even hear, I never heard of Sepultura. Like the dude that we were working with from Panama, and he's like, this is bands from Panama, check them out. You know, like got into like some crazy like
oh yeah, they're
metal.
They're like from Brazil,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, Panama, I think.
Yeah, weird.
It's like badass motherfuckers, you know? Well,
yeah.
maybe they are from Brazil. The point is that like,
well,
I started getting into some really wild shit when I was in those places. Like, you know, you're like finding your type of thing, but where you are. Like I was like, maybe I was like in Panama. I was living in South America when we like, there was reggae music there. We listened to the music that was there, but it was like rap reggae. Like, so there was like the rap we were already listening to, but mixed with their shit. So it was like, that was kind of part of like all the music that I got into was just like a lot of these fucking, these niche places. Like Suriname is right off the coast of Jamaica. And so like that vibe is like in that culture too. Let's kick that. That vibe's in that culture. So their style of music and everything is like, it's badass. It's nasty.
Shack blast.
Dude, I'm serious. Like their dance styles, like this little fucking drop your ass on the dirt and just drag it along like real slow. Like
I'm familiar with that.
some serious reggae dancing. Like it's so fun.
They call it the canine.
So dang. These motherfuckers are like squatting down to the ground, dude.
Dude, I'm like starting to fade.
Are you need a cheeseburger? What are you eating tonight?
I had a baby chase burger.
Did you? Delicious. Nice choice. We just haven't talked about burgers yet. Thought we'd throw it in there. We usually do.
Oh man.
Oh, by the way, I tried to fry my last burger in mustard.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out all right, but I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm at with the heat or what does mustard do or like, you know.
It gets kind of weird.
Yeah, it just got coagulated little separation or something, but I don't really know. There's a little bit of like bacon grease in there already, just because like that was what I cooked in there first.
I
and
almost
then after, like, it wasn't real greasy. I dumped most of it out, but it was just a little bit, and then I mustarded the whole. It was a skillet, like like a cast iron pan, and then I dropped my burgers in it on the mustard pads, and then like just let it brown, you know, and I'm trying to just do one flip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let it get like right temp, and just so I can hit a one flip, get a nice edge on it.
I think when I watched them do it at In-N-Out, I believe they threw the beef down and then they like fucking squirted mustard on it.
So, but
I think it was like in a
eventually
bottle. It was like of course the burger got flipped, but
it eventually hit the mustard.
Well, they did it on top,
but
I think they used it in like a little fucking dill smack bottle or whatever.
So
smack your face with it like that.
Like, so is it thinned out, or
Hits you right
is it
there.
regular mustard?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
I wonder if I should just take mustard. Like, maybe I should take like mustard powder, like I'm
pretty sure they just do mustard, and I think it might have like oil too with it or something.
So like an oily mustard, right?
Well, it doesn't.
Like,
it looks a little more liquidy.
Lean, yeah.
Maybe it's just water. I don't know. I can't believe I've never really investigated it. So
I was just curious, like if you knew. When you said mustard, I thought I'd throw it out there and see how it worked. You know, they tasted good. Everybody liked them.
Fuck yeah, I've done it a couple times too. Yeah,
it worked. But
fuck yeah,
I don't know if that was what. I don't remember if that's what In-N-Out tastes like though.
Yeah, sort of. You know, it's really weird. I could talk about burgers for days, but the distinct flavor of an In-N-Out burger for me is the grilled onions and then the mustard grilled patty. Was that a fucking cop?
Yeah, man, or like maybe an Abilene. So
I want to see what's going on with this.
Yeah, we better figure out what's going on with the fire, so we don't like catch on fire.
Yeah.
Fires. It's like barely June. Dude. There's already fires. All right, we're gonna bail on the stream. It was nice seeing you all. Thanks for talking to us. It was really nice to see all 43,000 people. That's pretty good.
Still
not bad.
Still kind of jacked up out there. Yeah, 45,000 people. Thanks for the $50 from everybody.